Hello, welcome to Post Colonial Space. I'm Masood Raja, and I'm intentionally recording this on my phone just to make a point, because I want to tell you the story of how Post Colonial Space came to be as a channel. And I do also want to encourage you, if you are an academic, a graduate student, to start your own website and start your own channel, so that by the time you succeed in your career, you have a body of work that you can share with people. And that stems from my philosophy of intellectual and academic generosity and service. Now, if you really want to know the story, I launched my website in 2002. It was then called MasoodRaja.com. I eventually changed it to Post Colonial Space, which is now postcolonial.net. And my hope then was to use it as a teaching website. So over the years, I've built different resources on it. It has an archive of my courses, some of my public writings, some of my public academic writings. But what it has turned out to be is a resource for so many people from all over the world. So the website became a place where I can share and I could share whatever little I know with a global audience, right? And according to some research by people who have written books on digital scholarship, my website, Post Colonial Space, is the oldest non-institutional website on post-colonial studies. So that's something. How does it help me as a scholar? I think it helps me as a scholar in sharing whatever I know with a broader audience and in reinforcing my philosophy of scholarly generosity. Other than that, pragmatically, it has been a great resource in my teaching. I never have had to rely on any other software. I can actually create a course on my website, give the link to my students, and update it on my website, and they can just go and find materials on the website. Very rarely do I use email to send them materials, and that too only when I'm sharing some copyrighted materials. But also the body of work, both for my courses as well as for my public scholarship, it keeps accruing on the website. Then in 2019, I decided to revamp Post-Colonial Space as a YouTube channel. Thankfully, I already had a website that I could connect it to, right? And I could move people from my website to my channel. And when I started recording my early videos for post-colonialism or post-colonial space, I didn't have any gadgets or technology. I just used my phone or the camera on my computer, because the purpose wasn't to offer, mesmerizing video content. The purpose simply was to take whatever technology I have and whatever knowledge I have, record it and share it with a broader audience. As a result, now, we have more than 3,000 subscribers, and thousands of people from all over the world are using these videos, especially in this pandemic, because they are freely available. They're using them for personal education. They're using them in their classes. They are sharing those with each other. So as a scholar, what does it do for me? As a scholar, it gives me this whole world outside of the limiting environments of wherever I work, right? It gives me people to interact with, people that I would otherwise never meet, people who acknowledge and recognize my efforts, right? And that is crucial. So what it enables me to do and will enable you to do as a scholar is to be in touch with people from all over the world through technology and share your knowledge, your expertise freely with a wider audience. And that has become extremely clear during this pandemic, that we are all looking for materials that we can use in our classes, that we can share with our students. And since most of the classes are online, where do people go? They go to YouTube. They look for content for which the students don't have to pay, for which they themselves don't have to pay. So that's why if you are a student or scholar of humanities, post-colonial studies, whatever, I strongly urge you to start a blog, start a website, build your public persona, not as a marketing tool, but as a place where other people come and interact with you and where you share your professional opinions, your knowledge with a wider audience. And if possible, use whatever technology you have, your iPhone, your Android phone, whatever, and start a small educational channel on YouTube, right? Let me know if you do that. I would be happy to take a look at it, and I would be happy to give you my suggestions. But the most important thing is you have a body of knowledge, you have audience in the world that's interested in it, and you have the basic technologies to deliver it, right? It doesn't cost you anything. Start with what you have, and then if it becomes big, maybe you can buy better equipment, have a more elaborate editing setup, but start right now. What do I use? Okay, so most of the times I either record on my phone or I use a small webcam. And then I have a good mic. I use a Yeti mic, right? It's right here. These are my two major investments, and I use my computer to record. For editing, pretty much I do it on my phone. There are quite a few apps that I use on my phone, but the one that's my favorite is Videoleap. It allows me to put text on videos, to chop them, to edit them. And then I use a few other apps that I'll put in the links to edit and make the videos acceptable. They are not, brilliant or dazzling. Now, none of these apps or anyone else is sponsoring this video. I just wanted to share with you that the simple equipment that you already have in terms of your phone and a little bit of light is enough to start sharing your knowledge. And it is important to share your knowledge because that will develop you as a person and as a scholar, as someone who's willing to share his or her knowledge, and not as someone who guards his or her knowledge privately and people have to pay for it. No. This idea of putting your work out there in a blog or on a YouTube channel in brief videos isn't just good for your career, right? It's something that would help you construct a scholarly identity of a generous scholar, of a scholar who feels the significance of sharing whatever they know with a broader audience. So that's all I had to say in this one. And as I said, the reason I'm recording it on an iPhone is just to emphasize that you don't need sophisticated technologies to do this. You can just work with the knowledge you have and the technologies that are already at your disposal. Thank you so much. I would love to hear your suggestions. I would love to hear what you have done or what you plan to do. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much. And as always, peace and love.